Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to have an introduction to clay. Your mom, dad, or someone wonderful enough to pick up your supplies brought home a bag of clay with a damp paper towel in it. That is not to be touched until you listen to the first video that I'm giving you right now, and then a demonstration video. The reason I don't want you to have your hands on the clay just yet is once you have it open to the air, it tends to dry out a little too fast. So when you're done listening to the introduction and the demonstration, it'll be all hands on clay. All right, so what is clay? It's a fine, sticky substance that's created by erosion of mountains. Clay is often found around river and stream beds, and you can also find it in your own backyard when you're digging for your plants or flowers. I know if you are a gardener, having a lot of clay in the soil is not necessarily something that gardeners like. For ceramic artists, it's fun to experiment with that type of clay. When clay is in your hands, it is awesome. Why is it awesome? Because you can make it look like anything you want. You can pinch it, you can roll it, you can stamp it, you can twist it, you can poke it, cut it, pull it. Clay is very, very plastic and moldable, so you can use your imagination to make any shape you can think of. When you're pinching the clay, in the top left corner, you can see how naturally it always has little bits of cracks or imperfections. That is going to be normal. A coil is when you make those nice long rolled out snakes. You want to make sure that you're rolling it evenly so that there's not any really thin areas. If it's too thin, it tends to break. Stamping is exactly what it sounds like. You could have any stamps that you may have at home, or you could find things in nature to use to stamp, like a leaf, and then pull it out and see what kind of texture or pattern it would create. A slab, you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, is perfect if you've ever baked a pie with mom or dad or maybe grandparents. It's rolling out a nice thin but yet fluffy pancake size. When you can take a look at these last three pictures on this page, the pinch pot is really, really neat because even back from when pottery was first made, Native Americans would use it to have their food in it and cook it on the fire so that it would be able to hold food. The texture, if you see right over here, is just with the fingertips. Coil pottery is really neat. You can make a coil bottom and then use snakes and shapes all the way up. When we roll out slabs, depending on how big your slab is, you can actually put it around an object, maybe a paper towel roll, maybe a coffee mug, something that would be able to slip out of. This is endless possibilities with our clay. I wanted to also show you with the certain types of materials, it changes how we work with it. So if you're trying to attach two pieces of clay, I like to say it's the S's. You have to score and slip to make your clay stay together. It's not like a piece of paper gluing to another piece of paper. If you don't do these steps, they will not, I promise you, they will not stay together. So make sure you follow these directions. This is it's actually called an elephant ear sponge, which sounds a little silly. It's not made out of elephant. It's just what it's called. It's a natural sponge that's found in the ocean. We have our clay balls here. I use a very high-tech, wink wink, tool called a fork, a plastic fork for scoring. Scoring is making X's in the clay. Slip is just, you can use water. It doesn't have to be little pieces of clay in the water. You can add your clay in the water, but if you don't want to do that, you're more than able to use slip as just the water. I like to say score, score, dip, and slip. Jiggle, jiggle, wiggle together. And I will show you when I give you my video demonstration. This is scoring the clay. When you score your clay, you're making these lines. You can cross them over, but as long as you have texture on where you are putting an object or a coil, and so, sorry, I don't want to confuse any of you. So you score on the area you're attaching, and you score where you're attaching. So because I was rolling out this coil and applying it to the bottom, I need to score not only the bottom of my piece, but I need to score the coil to be able to attach. Then, so we score, score, dip, slip with your finger, and then you can use the end of your fork or the nice tool that is attached to your hand, your fingertip, to smooth and have all your edges be attached. When you take a look at some other ceramics, this is more sculptural. These were done by another artist that wanted to do more abstract piece of artwork. This is wonderfully use of stamping. So there's some mathematics in ceramics. You can take away or you can add to. So if you were adding a coil, that would be the additive method. If you were carving and taking away clay, that's the subtractive method. So this is our intro. Let's watch Mrs. Stevenson work with the clay up close so we can get started with our own. Thanks so much for your great attention, boys and girls, and I'll check in with you later. Bye-bye.